Welcome back. This is King's Morning Show with King James. Today is going to be a blessed day. Senior Edinkan Editudra from yesterday up to now. We're going to talk about music today on the King's Morning Show. Unim se KJ radio dear to be nkofu we die sin ya dabi ye mo bibia bi enti de be de wuti bia benya wo de enti wo panwuma benya wo de wo pe politics abenya wo de wo pe amanyosema benya wo de wo de ase wo ye ghetto star cramp abenya wo de enti enwom ye bema wo enwom mo ni je enwom to ho. I mean, you wish you can get a professional to train you for you to do more. For a professional to train you, send a bit to me atunyum ye, and as bit me a book keyboard ye, and as bit my BB ye. So what I say, and we have a big brother. I have a big brother. Personally, I call him Prof. But Nidian Kasai, Mr. Hobbist, and he is a music consultant, a voice-over coach or voice coach, piano master, right? Okay, so I mean, he is a music professional. I mean, I call him professor. Sorry, I call him professor. So at the right time, I will introduce. He will take over from me. But I want you to stay here with me, stay here with us. I want you to do one thing for me. I want you to share this to bless someone. Share this to be a blessing to someone. Asama anase nkomo ene yeba bedino efa ho. So what I say, efu bi so ho. Fi se ne yebeka yebedi nkomo afa nyoma bi ekọ ashama ene ni potemu a entwa yie. Impenifo wo muka bi ewom adenti no mayedin na ashaman etete epro ashaman intimi enka se bui ye kwan nyina dane manho ebi adane dam yebeka eni nyina ho asem wo KJ radio so eda na pay inti dem pese oye ne se bomoden so be share na bomoden ato nsafro bi so ombra mehwe ebia wo so utie mi umpotemu ekwan no enye but essence baby a wo share no unya media people bia enka wasam kire omo anase baby koso wo mpotemu enko yie wo de obetimi etwa now de asene ye beka ho asem de amawo wonti ne aba enti de wo se ye ka ho asem ne ye beka na baby wo se ekọ ma impenifo eso mo ba no be ye kwan ma ye no be ye amaye. Some time ago, yet say the MP of Ashaman and there's no way catcher says government na mamba ye kwanya obey lead demonstration. All road will be blocked on my 14 days napa home. So ye won't share. Inti was a otiase, I was otiase. Ghana near one. Everything is possible. Alright, so we need to talk about all these things and other more things coming your way. Answer your bashase no as a mema what ase say nyumaku ene oso masen mamitimide anapa King's Morning Show at the bro 3SD collection also pe batakali frugu anase kente African printer papa de baby also nya to ade wo 3SD collection hona bitimi ato Ghana nyoma ye papa we if enough kente papa bi enti e was o to nyoma nyina fi 3SD collection baby a wo bia de hian se wa free ye beba na ye babeto ye beba na ye de abro senya wo bitimi etuaka enye se tuaka na ya wia ya sanso azan waka ye di no kure pa enti wo de for say wo yemu nhihyew na wonka se enye nkofo ibi ni ye enye nkofo ni bia enti wo de wo free ya wo place order de open no fama ye de bebro ye ba na afi wanka se wetuaka bomadian so be free 0547908270 0547908270 and that's 0240036336 02400336 KJ KJ Media College in Etonsa Frono, so Pesusian photography, videography, 3D animation, graphic designing, script writing, graphic designing, live streaming, radio presentation, and as a TV presentation. The best place to learn media is KJ Media College. KJ Media College was Shaman or Engine Filling Station HPPP. KJ Media College or Honomo. Oh my God, KJ Media College. Yen semre enko baby nko tu sikantungu. Enko baby nko sewa daje. Baby a ubetimi esua media pa abeboa wo. Ubetimi do phone pa ye juma media juma na so wetimi sika twitwi de egu botom pa dia. Eno ani KJ Media College. KJ Media College wa Shama no Engine Filling Station echi. Bomodi aso be friend admission egu so ekoso 05499333189 054993389 and that's 0597216270 0547216270. KJ Media College also learn today, lead tomorrow. All right, so Anthony Besha say no, we answer the motivation words for today at the Bebra no. We try me home ajima boy from Krato. Me ba ye be ko studio B na prof. I call him prof. Na prof Abu Modiana or the motivation speech no at the amayende. This is KJ Radio, radio with class.
Hello, Memawa Kwaba Sonkopa Deba KJ Media College. Ewo ye rasima yewe adesua ya ade a ede kanea ebrain. Sa so na se usua ade foforo a ebie wa adwenu. Ewo KJMC ehase no. Ye botai kese pa edimu ne se ebema wo ende abefo ntitia edimu ama wa ye kendini ewo media edwumanim. From video editing, echo camera handling, 3D animation, disc jockeying, so DJ nyoma, and I TV and radio presentation. Ubaha ebetretro ninya, ebinya abotwe na atro ninya. Ewo KJMC hasenu. Odaye so ebem na ye nije. Senti ye wo one-on-one classes a ebetumi de atretro ama wabehu nyomemu yie, anase upe online ana in-person ebetumi aye ama. KJ Media College hano ye ma wo ntetia e ma wo ye opabene senti no ye ma wo international any local certificate ube hu KJ Media College e wo Ashaman Engine Filling Station mechi pepepe admissions buso a e koso enti friend wa homa trofo iso 0549933189 ana 0597216270. KJ Media College. Learn today, lead tomorrow. Please subscribe.
The pressures of life are unevitable. However, we can only do as much as we can and focus on the positive regardless. No matter the situation, laughter is as good a medicine as any antidote. For Fun TV is here to help you ease the pressure and enjoy some pleasures. Join me, Nanaya Faisi, as we learn, inform, and entertain ourselves. Perhaps there are many forms of entertainment. Oh yes, that much we know. But on For Fun TV, everything entertainment is allowed. Get ready to laugh out loud. Learn few tricks here and there and boost your confidence only on For Fun TV.
right, welcome back. This is KJ Radio, Radio with Class. This is King's Morning Show. King's Morning Show. So, we're too far. I call Studio B and Yakuti if you Prof one of the motivation word for today. All right. So, Prof, so are you ready? So mumame.
Okay. Good morning to our viewers and listeners all over the world. This is KJ Radio, Radio with Class. So this morning, today, unfortunately, or per production rules, we are not talking about Sarkodie today, thankfully. Yeah, the banter is still ongoing, but let us get a few messages from some of the richest people in the world. King James, if you're ready, okay. So what you have on your screen is just one of the many quotes from Elon Musk. Now, Elon Musk is currently the richest person in the world. His net worth is $220 billion and above, over $220 billion. Yeah. Now, his major advice for us today is work on things that you find interesting and fulfilling, and that contributes some good to the rest of society. This is from Elon Musk. When you do not work on things that interest you yourself and makes you fulfilled, trust me, you can have the best job in the world, get all the money, but the fulfillment and the sort of happiness that you need, you can never find. King James, let's go to the next one. This is Bernard Arnault. He is also worth $195 billion. Now, this is his advice. Money is just a consequence. I always say to my team, don't worry too much about profitability. If you do your job well, the profitability will come. Now, this advice is self-explanatory. Let's continue.
All right.
This is Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon. His worth is $150 billion and over. So he says, you can have a job, or you can have a career, or you can have a calling. And if you can somehow figure out how to have a calling, you hit the jackpot, because that's the big deal. Let me take this again. You can have a job, or you can have a career, or you can have a calling. And if you can somehow figure out how to have a calling, you hit the jackpot, because that's the big deal. King James, what do you have? Do you have a job, a calling, or a career?
I have a career.
Good. Okay, so why do you say you have a career?
Okay, so when I have a job, I can easily lose that job. When I have a calling, I can give up my calling. But when I have a career to carry, I make sure, no matter what, I have to carry that career.
That's wonderful. Wonderful. And to the last one, this is Warren Buffett. This man, he used to battle it out with Bill Gates. When this one comes on top, this one comes the next time. But he's an investor. He invests in stocks and bonds and all of those market stuff. His net worth is $118 billion US. Now, this is his advice. Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. So the first rule, never lose the money. The second rule, never forget rule number 1. So in all you're doing, never lose money. Yeah. So this is our motivation for today.
Okay. Thank you. All right. This is deep. A bigger or a big revelation. So we move to our next thing, and as a next agenda, we want to talk about some roads in Ashaman. And as some of the things that is going on in Ashaman, that, I mean, what do you want to say? The basic need Ashaman are difficult for Ashaman people to get.
Well,
I will show you a video. If my producer is ready with that video, obetimi aye den abomodin ayi e de ache. A road. Personally, I can't call that thing a road. Though. I can't call it a road.
Well, it's a route.
So, Mr. Producer, if you are ready, please show us the video of a road, something that we call it a road in Ashaman. All right, so okay.
Wow.
So I don't know what you are going to call this.
Okay. Yeah, same, but yeah. I think talk is cheap, but the actual work to be done is always not done. Yeah. The politician will talk, the citizens will talk, opinion leaders will talk. At the end of the day, this is what we have.
So, do we call this a road? Or we call this one district, one down?
King James, you will go elsewhere, and I think this will not be potholes. These are craters. Now, you can only find craters on the moon, but it seems we have craters here as well. This has surpassed potholes. Yeah.
No, but why do we vote in the first place? Why do we appoint leaders? I didn't know ye akendi for.
Well,
I didn't know ye MP. I didn't know what DC. I didn't know ye was some penny for na ewo ye maimu, and I say with Ashaman. Look at the population of Ashaman people. Do we deserve this bad road? Do we deserve this?
King James, we are not angry enough. The citizens of this country are not angry enough. You and I are talking about this today. Tomorrow we'll talk about something different, and it's a cyclical thing. It goes on and on and on. And now these politicians, we are almost heading to an election year. We're almost there, actually. They will come here and campaign, all right? They will be sitting in vehicles that have airbags everywhere. Even the seats have heated mechanisms in it, so they do not feel all these bumps, all these craters. They will use our own taxes to fuel the vehicles that will protect them, their bodyguards, their homes. Everything is catered for. So sometimes I ask myself, are we the servants or they are the servants?
Who appointed them in the first place? Oh, yeah. And this is New York Road.
Well,
this
for this place to be even called New York.
Come on. Well, on New Road. This road leads to a lot of places in Ashaman.
Yeah, I think this leads to Washington. It leads to US. It leads to New York. You can maneuver your way there to Atarika. On your return, it gets you to Community 22 Annex. Yeah, it's a busy road, and if you have to spend more than an hour on this road, I mean, productivity is lost for the day.
So the people who are living at this place, are they not Ghanaians? Are they not Ghanaians?
Well,
it's about time we start doing this dirty politics that we are doing. We deserve something better. How can we vote for you to come to power to solve our problem? But the best thing they can do is that to add more problems to us, to our problem. Because you come, I pay tax to you. I make sure your fuel is being catered for. I make sure you don't pay light bill. I make sure you don't pay anything. All my money or all the tax you take from me, take off all these things. Common road. I was what the man and I'm so meeting me a koba. Na many general. This is what you give to me.
King James, you will be shocked. This road, they always use 1 kilometer as the measurement for procurement. You'll be surprised if an individual does a 1 kilometer road, the amount he will spend. If the government, who has all opportunity, all machinery and everything at their disposal, the government's money for a 1 kilometer road is 10 times if it takes an individual to do this. So that tells you, who do we vote into power?
Who do we vote into power?
Do we vote for servants to serve, or we vote for masters for us to serve them instead?
And you know, one surprise thing, just last 2 weeks, we heard the Ashaman MP saying that he is going to lead a demonstration, and he is giving the government 4 weeks. No, not 4 weeks, 14 days. Say, Ashaman people, he will lead demonstration. Where is the Ashaman MP?
Okay, so you have a member of parliament that gives the government an ultimatum.
Yes.
Of 14 days.
14 days. And I have the video here.
Okay.
If my producer can play that video for me. 14 days.
Wow.
So, Mr. Producer, if you are ready, please, let me play yeah, Ashaman MP no video now okay. Also, my government in 14 days. 14 days. Say, baby and Ashama Kwanhua, he will lead demonstration. So, if Mr. Producer, if you are ready, let's go.
That drivers, motorists, residents, and pedestrians,
So,
everybody is complaining about our roads. And the mindset of the people is that it is the duty of the MP to construct our roads or to reshape our roads, which is not true. And that is all the more reason why today I organized this press briefing to make sure that the press ascertain the extent of the damaged roads in Ashaman, and they feel the pain of the people of Ashaman, and exactly also know exactly what is pertaining on the ground. So this is a simple message that we are sending to the government, that our roads are very bad. In 2016, before John Mahama will leave office, what did he do? He gave us almost 23-kilometer roads in Ashaman. We started from Presby Junction, going to Police Junction. When we got to Roman Church area, we lost power. And when this government came, what happened? They said they were doing auditing. They took all the 23-kilometer road that John Mahama gave to Ashama, awarded on contract to the contractor, should be done in Ashama. They took all of them to Tema. We also started the one at traffic to Katamanso. They also stopped it. Even the main road, the Ashama Highway, that was constructed under John Evans Atamils and John Dramani Mahama. 95% complete. Left with 5% for this government to complete it. Put the second coat of asphalt on it. They refuse, and still it's also in a deplorable state. And so we are just saying simply that the government should come and fix our roads. And we are giving them 14 days, 2 weeks, 14 days ultimatum. If they refuse to come to the road, we will advise ourselves by demonstrating massively on the roads. We will block traffic. A mammoth demonstration will happen in Ashama if they refuse. If they refuse to come to the roads, all those roads that they said, they claim they have awarded on contract, we want the contractor.
Prof, I call you Prof. Before I'll add my voice, please, what's your take on this?
King James, They say education is light. The Honorable MP, he is part of a parliamentary committee. Now, the kind of access he has, the ordinary Ashaiman citizen doesn't have such access. The kind of lobbying power, mind you, our MP honorably attended some schools outside this country. He is a very intelligent young MP. So the question is, has there been any Jojo, has there been any lobbying that has been refused? If so, what are the necessary steps? Now, for an MP to give a ruling government an ultimatum of 14 days, and the 14 days has elapsed, what is he going to tell the citizens of Ashaiman now?
Exactly.
Now, if people take the law into their own hands and say that the MP said after 14 days there will be a mammoth demonstration. Now, the word mammoth is something even bigger than an elephant. Something huge, something humongous. That means roughly the whole of Ashaiman will demonstrate. Now, he is a member of parliament. These people, I am telling you for a fact, they wine and dine together.
Yeah.
Whether it's NDC or MPP, my brother, to me, with the little knowledge I have, they are all the same. You will be surprised, and an MPP man will also come and say all sorts of things. But the point is, these people are toying with our lives. They do not go through what we go through. As I'm talking to you right now, there's somebody in Ashaiman looking for 1 cedi to buy something.
Oh, my brother.
And tell me that 1 cedi cannot buy anything. Sachet water is 50 pesos. So when you have 1 cedi that they don't even have, you buy only 1 sachet water, and can that sustain you throughout the day? And the road that these people will travel to go to the market, to even do some boja boja or apalahala to get something by day, I mean, these people will have to be delayed because the roads are bad. My brother, the average politician in Ghana now does not think about the citizen. That is the truth. All they think about is self-aggrandizement. What they will get and what their family will get and what their cronies will also get. They get their cut and percentage from every contract that goes on in this country. So, I mean, what the MP is saying to me, I mean, it has been washed down the drain. I think it has even been washed in the potholes on the road already. So, yeah.
All right. So, one of the points and mention that say and I say me my dream no say if they were able to do a good job, because this road workers on more year within 80 years road no and they used to say any road. Look at Ashaiman main road from here, because there are a lot of traffic. Newtown Junction, it's like manholes. When you go to Oko Wenim Kodru Falcon City, Star Oil.
Yeah.
When it rains, that is a major road, main road. A leading comfort to their houses. Say in so to see cars into me, there will be a zero traffic, because all inner roads you can't use it. If you try, waka beka.
These people know the importance of roads in business and commerce. Now, if you are working for a company, a private entity, you're supposed to get to work by 7 a.m. If your road network is bad, traffic jam increases.
Exactly.
Now, you cannot get to the workplace and tell your boss that it's due to traffic. Now, the average Ghanaian always has the mentality of arriving late for every event. But when you are working privately, now, as we are talking now, when you go to Department of Urban Roads, somebody is not at post now.
That is true.
They are the ones supposed to facilitate all these road constructions, but somebody is not there. Not because of any fault of theirs, but they are stuck in traffic. Now, roads everywhere in this world, they form the baseline of economic productivity. The faster you can get to your destination, the more money you get. Now, if the roads are not good, mind you, your vehicle will break down. You've lost for the day. Now, upon you losing for the day, you have to get to a mechanic. You have to get to a fitting shop. You have to buy worn out tires. You have to buy broken down parts. You've lost massively. So if this is what will continue, and this has been continuing, I do not even like to talk about it because I don't believe in too much talk. Do the do and let's talk. That's all.
Do the do and let's talk. Asami deka wana beka. Minu mioni ni beti miaka. Ye beka kusi time the right thing will be done. If they don't fix Ashama Road, we will never stop talking. The more we talk, the more it goes. So you have to do your part. I am doing the talking. You have to do the sharing. Share for this message to get to the right people. We are doing our part. Let's come together. Ashama will be a better place for us when we come together and stop that dirty politics that we are doing. Enfayenko babya. Ebiane se obi aba beda daye. They know the right thing, but they continue to play with our mind. Let's wake up as a nation. Let's wake up as people. And check about Ababeson. They will come and then lie to you. They will come and then deceive you. Please wake up. If the road are not fixed, no one is going to follow anybody for campaigning or to vote. The right thing must be done. What is the DC doing? What is the Ashaman people doing? What is the leaders of Ashaman? What are they doing? They are sitting down. And then when the time is due, they will come and then deceive you again. We should say no more to their lies and then they are deceived. Asemi dika, minu mioni ni ebeka, yanka enyeji. Yes, metiasie, umi ano penasem, or you kromuni. But let's put Ghana first. Let's put Ghana first. Se Ghana di kanya, this bad road, a major road in Ashaman. In so to se si ebe densi betimi akọ. Asemi di kan minu mieni ne betimi aka. If you don't say it today, when are we going to say it? Yen sorry to say Ghana ni. Yen sorry to say Oman Bapa. We should stop the politics we are doing. Yen share the course wa sen. A do time say eba beto abadie. They were so quick to go and fix their road. When the people were crying for roads, but they do about what year? They were able to fix the road within 1 week. So meaning when we wake up as Ghanaians, they can do our road for us. Let's wake up. Ashaman people, yeah, sorry. My Ashaman people, we should rise up. We should come together as one people and make sure the people fix our road for us. They are sitting down, they are eating our money. They come to us, take tax every single day. You pay tax. Our money should do the right thing for us. One tax be prepared almost a year so. Upon all the tax, we don't have what we call our own. We have what we call their own. So they create, they loot, and then they share. Let's rise up. My people, let's rise up. Ashaman deserve best. Ashaman deserve better. Look at Ashaman traffic. Maho. Ewo traffic na nkasa. In the traffic light na so green compono. E difficult second na nkasa mpobeko. The time bia traffic esi. I don't know. Say traffic na mpenfoni ehu a e dis ka go mbotom dia. I don't know say traffic see and no na obinya sika wo mu dia. So they will not fix our road for us and they will receive bad road. Look at this is Star Oil. This is Star Oil. Ashama haya in so to aka nkwa kama. All the gutters has been chopped. all the gutters your gutters nyina e choki enko enye nipa ne phone so impedifo na bro ade omoye ma ebi omoye adisu yemfidie in this modern Ghana. How can you construct a road? How can you construct a gutter? Now say meja to one more. O construct a gutter, o say my open gutter. What do you expect? What do you expect? Inti nyuma amoye ma enyina mo disu yemfidie. Say why gutter no we be so ato onko ade e betem to so fa ade tum. Ne so to a na eba wo dem na say if they construct a gutter na say gutter na you closer, where are you going to put the rubbish? Where are you going to put the engra no? My people, we should come together and then tell the leaders, if they don't fix our road for us, we are not going to follow them no more. Ashaman deserve best. Ashaman deserve better. Ashaman, we deserve a better road. Thank you so much for watching me. Thank you so much for doing the listening. Please, I want you to share. Share to bless someone. Share. I want you to share. Share the link. You can also listen to us by downloading the KJ Radio app on Google Play Store. Download the app today. And then enjoy KJ Radio. Asemi idika wana beka menu mi ni beka. Meme kana so ye mafamu die na wo share. They must hear Ashaman deserve better. This is KJ Radio. But I was say utie me, but I was say odi ofidie na to ano. Now to our topic of the day. More fire. Me try me waji my bro from Kaso. Me ba we go into our topic of today. We are going to talk about music today. So Professor is ready in the studio. Me try me waji my bro from Kaso. Me ba pe e bebo modern na ya toaso na ye de ne enkomo twetwe no ahyase. Inti enko ba bia stay with me. This is KJ Radio with class.
Hello, mema wakwaba sonkopa deba KJ Media College. Ewo area sima yewe adesua ya ade a ede kanea ebrain. Saaso na se usua ade foforo a ebie wadwin. Ewo KJMC ehasei no. Yempotai kese pa edimu ne se ebe ma wo ende abefo ntitia edimu ama waye kendini ewo media edumanim. From video editing, echo camera handling, 3D animation, disc jockeying, so DJ nyoma, anase TV and radio presentation. Ubaha ebe chwecho ninya ebenya aboto na cho ninya ewo KJMC hasei udaye so ebem na ye nije senti ye wo one-on-one classes a ebe to media chwecho ama obehu nyomemu yie anase upe online ana impet ebe to me aye ama ewo KJ Media College hano ye ma wo ntetia e ma wo ye opabene senti no ye ma international any local certificate. Ubehu KJ Media College ewo Ashaman invitation mechi pepepe admissions buswa koso inti free wa homa chofo iso 0549 933 189 ana 0597 216 270. KJ Media College. Learn today, lead tomorrow. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more. Follow, like, and share across all social media handles.
Okay, welcome back. This is KJ Radio, Radio with class. KJ Radio, dear. I mean, we have come for you. We are not here to joke. The right thing must be done. About to open a song, me too for. Then ya, one cast on to about beto aba. Abane de obeto. ye kase men koto kra wo ba koto ba mesro so beto abapa se ni ba no wo hwe ne so ba ne so metwetewa masa entoma no kokromoti ena ye power kokromoti ine drudwom nti se udu kokromoti no e de ye ade e beboa wo daache a e take decision a take a good decision. All right, thank you so much. All right, so I have you with me, the music man, Professor Bakope. So to our topic of today, we are talking about music. We are talking about the evolution of music. So what's a enyum to crowd as you say? It be na kunkunti bana way so complicated. I mean, how did music itself start? Enyum to crowd started saying, who was the first person or so compose enyum? This and many more. So without wasting much time, I will introduce my guest for today. He is a professor. I call him a professor too. Major no ankasa introduce no na the oyeno and as ni papa oyeno on the ankasa aka. Okay, so Prof, I welcome you to KJ Radio.
King James, thank you very much for having me here. And how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, my brother.
Okay.
I'm doing great.
We thank God for life.
Sure. All right. So today we are talking about the evolution of music. Someone who say evolution what are you trying to say?
Okay. Oh, so evolution simply means you can say the journey. The journey of music, from the genesis to the revelation of music. So basically, that's what evolution means, and what music has actually been through to metamorphose into what we have now. Yeah. So basically, that's what we are going to discuss today, this morning.
Okay, but first, I want you to, we don't know you. So, what is your name? What do you do? What are you into? I mean, let us know.
Okay. My name is Robert Hobbist, but I prefer you call me Mr. Hobbist.
Mr. Hobbist.
Yeah. I'm a music consultant.
Okay.
I am a voiceover artist coach. I train voice for choir. I train individuals as well. I also teach music generally, and I teach piano. And I also happen to be a master of ceremony for events, corporate events, and social events as well.
Yeah. Wow, this is great. Okay, so our topic today, the evolution of music.
Okay.
All right, so I want us to take us through, I would say, the journey of music. So how did the music start?
Okay.
Take us through.
Okay. So first of all, before everything, let's get to the definition of music.
Okay.
So the dictionary definition, the simplest one, music is vocal or instrumental sounds, or both, combined in such a way as to produce beauty of form, harmony, and expression of emotion. Now, another definition too is the written or printed signs representing vocal or instrumental sound. So, first of all, music is an art. That is what everybody must know. Now, this art form involves putting together sound. Now, you can put the sound together with your voice, with instruments, or both, to create something meaningful and something pleasant to the ear. Now, if music is not pleasant to the ear, that is what we term as cacophony. Now, there's a reason why you like certain songs and you do not like certain songs. Now, the first reason is that society plays a very important role in the evolution or the production or the making of music. Where you find yourself geographically will determine the kind of music you are accustomed to. If you were born in Africa, in a village, in a typical village, it is only what you hear at that place that you will be familiar with it. That is what you will consider as the music that you know. But let's start from the very beginning. Now, music did not start as something, what we have now, Afrobeat, highlife, and all of that. Now, in the very early days, in music studies, that era is known as the medieval era. Now, this era is even before the birth of Christ. So we are looking at 476 to 1400. That's that span of year. Now, during those times, music was considered as something sacred. When I say sacred, music was very prone to people who worship in certain ways. Now, back to society again. So during the medieval era, you have to use the human voice. Mind you, there were other instruments available, but the human voice was considered as the first musical instrument. When the hunters and gatherers at that time had not managed to come out with any instrument. So when they started making the flute, they started putting strings together to form the guitar and all of those instruments. Previously, it was the human voice. That was the first point of call. Now, music was not written then. It was passed on from one generation to the next. So if your father knows a sacred song, a song used in worship, a song used to praise the gods or as a form of an appellation to divine beings, then that will also be passed on, because as you were growing up, that is what you learned, and it will be passed on. You also passed it on to your children as well. But when music began being formalized and being structured, it was previously known as a chant. Now, a chant is not what we know today. A chant at that time, the person who popularized the chant, that person was a priest known as Gregory. So his name was used to define the chant as Gregorian chant. Now, I think we have an example of Gregorian chant, but Gregorian chant is mostly what you hear. Now, the Catholics have actually made a wonderful arrangement of Gregorian chant. So mostly you hear something like Hallelujah. That, what I just sang, is part of the Gregorian chant. Now, this is how music passed on until we came to write the notes, the musical notes, the breve, the semi-breve, the crotchet, and all of that, and other musical forms also took place. So we can possibly say that music evolved from worship. Now, there were times when people were worshiping what the Christians would say lesser gods. People were worshiping streams. Now, the Greeks had a very huge influence on the evolution of music. You know, the Greeks have their gods that they worship. They worship the sun, they worship Ares, they have god of war, god of thunder, they have Apollo, they have god of love, they have Athena, they have... Now, all those gods had music composed purposely for them. So with Greek mythology, whenever you hear such songs, you know that these songs or these compositions are made for these kind of gods. So that is how music has evolved to what we have now. Now, from the medieval era, we move to the Renaissance. Now, the Renaissance era, actually, that was when things began, the formalization of music actually began. That is when more education entered into music. Now, King James, there were times in this country when music was taught. It was a compulsory subject. Those who lived in the Nkrumah era till about before Rollins took over, music was a compulsory subject. But now music has been relegated to the backgrounds, and in our secondary schools, music is optional in the arts department. You can choose music over other subjects, but prior to that, music was compulsory. Now, the study of music does not mean you become a musician or you become a performer or you become whatever, or a professor in music. Music education is important in our daily lives. It gives a sort of enlightenment. It opens your brain to other aspects of culture. Now, every community or every society that loses its culture is doomed for life. And music forms part of our culture. We had one ethnomusicologist, he passed on a few years ago, Emeritus Professor Joseph Hansen Kwabena Nketia, who also happens to be the grandfather of this popular rapper Manifest. He actually got all our folk songs, like then crow, 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 e, 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 crow, he, crow, na, mi, do, na. Because of his vast knowledge studying music outside the country and all that, he managed to put together all our ethnic songs, traditional music, into text and musical notes for people like us to come and study at the university. So when you go to the university now, we have foreigners coming all the way from Bulgaria, America, and everywhere. They want to learn our culture. And we are down here and we have thrown ours away and picked other people's own. Let's get back to, this is just by the way. So there are some selections you can play for our guests to see how music has evolved from the beginning to what we have now. If they are ready, then I'll give a little explanation to them. Very good. So what you are listening to is an example of a Gregorian chant. This is when music was being formalized, and it was mostly sacred. When I say sacred, it means church or religious music. So King James, put the volume up, let our listeners have a feel of a Gregorian chant. And songs like these were used to uplift the image of God. They were used to call people in to worship. When you hear sounds like this, and they are very soothing, no instrumentation. The only instrument they are using are their voices. King James, how does this sound to you?
like instruments,
but they are voices.
but they are voices.
Yeah.
This sounds like you are playing an orchestra.
Yeah. So this is just three people
Wow.
singing. Yeah. And to date, the Orthodox churches still maintain these chants. The Catholics use it a lot, and it helps them in everything that they do. In all their performances of their church rituals and everything, they go with the Gregorian chant. So let's move on to the Renaissance, when instruments such as the violin, the cello, the double bass, the string instruments, and the harpsichord, the accordion, all those instruments were coming into light from that time. And this year was from 1400 to 1600. That's the Renaissance period. And it was a moment where architecture and the love for entertainment was also apt during those times. And we have very beautiful songs from that time as well. So if we can get a feel of the Renaissance period. Now the French actually took over the Renaissance period, and they made it so much of theirs, and it trickled down into the culture, the behavior, throughout every fiber of society. Now, the Middle Ages gave way to the Renaissance period. The Middle Ages, people were rich but not so rich, so you could see the division. When somebody is poor, he is extremely poor. When somebody is rich, they are extremely rich, all because of the music of the time. So, if you're ready, let's enjoy something from the Renaissance period. This is what you see on your screen. This is Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. He actually is from the classical period. So from the Renaissance we move, let's go back a little. Let's go back to Beethoven and Handel and all those people. Okay. So this is an organ fugue by Ludwig van Beethoven. Now this was also an era of classicism, what we call the classical times, which the year in between the years of 1730 to 1820. Now during this time, industrialization has begun. People were going out more for concerts and shows. The aristocrats in society, but mind you, during all this time, women were never allowed to sing in the choir. So every choral music you hear from that time till today, some churches practice that. Some churches in Europe and the Americas, they practice that. Now what they were doing at that time was, because the choir was an all-male choir, now we have 4 parts: the soprano, alto, tenor, bass. In between there are also other parts, but the major 4 parts. So if you are a child, you join the choir, you sing soprano. When you reach the adolescent stage, you move ahead to either alto or tenor. When your voice breaks, you move to bass or baritone. Now if you still want to maintain singing the soprano, you need to be castrated.
Wow.
Before you can maintain your male, you can maintain the female voice as a male. So those people were known as castratives. people were so religious to the fact that they were akin to whatever they were doing. They sacrificed their whole life to the church or to religion. So they are allowed to be castrated so that they can maintain the female voice. It was after the classical periods that women were allowed to join the choir and also perform to audiences all over the world. So can we enjoy another classical music? We can go to Mozart now. Okay. So this is Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, somebody who was born with a gift of music to the highest degree. Now Mozart, at the age of 5 years, was composing for a full orchestra. His father trained him well, but he was a child prodigy. In music, when we say somebody is a child prodigy, it means somebody who is overly gifted in his craft. I mean, he was born with it. Some people were born as stars already. They only need a little push for them to realize their dreams. In music, Mozart was one of those children. And he lived in the classical era, but unfortunately, he died at a very young age of 33.
Wow.
At that time, he had done everything. Yeah, he had done everything, from composing for orchestra, composing for the church, composing operas, and all of that. And his music till today, one of the best composers to ever live.
On to us, a child.
No, not him. Not him. Okay. So this period also gave way to what we call the Romantic period. Now, the Romantic period also gave way to the 19th century and to the 20th and the 21st century that we are in now. So if we can enjoy some of but let's go back to Baroque music. Now, Baroque music mostly were done for royalty. It was music composed for palaces, music composed for the elite. And George Frederick Handel was one exponent of this period. Bach, Joseph Haydn, and all of these people were all exponents. But Handel majored very well in Christian and biblical themed music. He composed Handel's Messiah. And Handel's Messiah was composed within 2 weeks, with no food, no water, with inspiration from God himself. And Handel refused every form of entertainment or enjoyment during this time for him to be able to compose Handel's Messiah. Now, that was not his only composition. He made songs for the royal family. And as of today, there is a river in the United Kingdom called the Thames River. Handel composed water music as the king of that era was passing by with his family on his boat at that time. The musicians were also playing the water music at that time. If we have Handel's Messiah here, let's enjoy something from Handel's Messiah. Oh no, this is from Beethoven. So Handel's Messiah. No, this is also from Beethoven. So he composed For Unto Us a Child is Born and all those beautiful choral pieces we sing during Christmas and all of that.
Okay, so then
Okay, so this is one of the pieces, beautiful compositions from Ludwig van Beethoven. Most of his compositions are very popular, but there are always stories behind certain compositions and the composers themselves. This is Johann Sebastian Bach on your screen now. He composed for organ, he composed for church. He was also born in the Baroque period. Now, mostly when the average Ghanaian hears songs like this, the appreciation for songs like this is very difficult because that is not what we are used to. Now, people consider this as noise, but it is from this that we have all the beautiful songs that you enjoy today. That all our Stone Boys, all our Sarkodie's, and all the rappers and everything, that these were the pioneers at that era. Now, every era has its own pros and cons. Now, mind you, a time will come when our children and grandchildren will also tell us that the songs we were listening to were noise. Were noise. So, yeah. So now in the 20th and 21st century, now we are currently in the 21st century, music's evolution has come a long way. From the days of the gramophone to studio keyboards to the MIDI keyboards to now we have people can compose EPs. People can just take their laptops, go to Fruity Loops, go to Adobe Audition, take anything and get sound card and compose anything or make a beat just out of the blue. But when things are done properly, music is supposed to last for a lifetime. That is why up till now there are certain songs that are very old, but people still enjoy it today. Now, during this time, I've spoken about the gramophone. Now, other instrumentations also came to bear. Then, ideas vary. So does music also vary. Now we have many genres of music that, as we have currently, we have over 60 genres of music. But in this country, those who actually were the pioneers of written down music for study, we can talk about Professor J.H. Nketia. We can talk about the late Professor Ken Kafui. We can talk about those who are alive now, the current crop of composers we have New Love, Anan, composing beautiful choral music. We have Eddie Gazy, who is also a very good tenor singer and all of that. Now, all these people contributed to what these young ones are enjoying today. Now, back to the culture again. Your culture will determine where. Now, the Western culture has influenced our form of music to the extent that the high life we used to know is gradually dying off. But I am happy a few musicians are also picking it up, and they are also making the music evolve. Like I said, our children and our grandchildren will also grow up and tell us our music was a cake. Or, yeah, the music we used to listen to were all a cake. So, King James, this is how music has evolved over the years for us to have what we have today, what we enjoy today. Now, there are many departments music is used. Now, music is used in movies. Now, in movies, we call them soundtracks or scores. Before you can enjoy any good movie, I'm talking about the Hollywood movies because they employ the services of musicians. One Hollywood movie can employ the services of 100 musicians at the same time. When you watch a war movie, what makes you enjoy the movie is the sound. It's not the dialogue between the actors. It's the sound. Sometimes there will be no dialogue, but the moment you hear a certain sound, that sound can tell you that there is a certain action going to happen here. People are either going to fight, people are going to make love. This is a love scene. The songs are composed based on the themes in the movie. So if it's a war movie, obviously the themes will be on war, it will be about fight, it will be on ammunitions, it will be on so many things. If it is okay, so what you are listening to right now is an example of it. Now, this kind of music, you can hear strings in it, you can hear drums in it, you can hear the timpani in it, you can hear the kettle drum, you can hear a lot. You'll be surprised how many people made this tune. This tune has a lot of suspense. It has a lot of courage. You can personify this tune with a lot of human qualities. So when you hear this under any video, under any movie, it's an attention grabber instantly. Because people cannot be making love with this music, with this kind of music.
Okay.
Because this kind of music has tension. When you turn the volume up, you can actually feel the tension. The tempo determines the kind of tension, the amount of tension in the music. So this is an example of music used in media, in movies, in advertisement, in the general outlook of what you see on the internet, what you hear, what you see on TV, what you hear on radio, and all of that. Now, there is an opera side of music as well. That is when voice performance meets music performance. And a smaller version of it is known as cantata for TV. That is what we call cantata. But it's a cantata when music and acting meet, the dramatic performance of it together with the music. A smaller version is called a cantata. Now, a bigger production of that is an opera. Now, a smaller portion of an opera too is known as an operetta. So all of that, there are musicians performing and there are actors on stage. Now, instead of the dialogue being spoken, the dialogue is rather sung. So that is an example too. So the music has evolved so much that we even have music in psychology. You can heal people through music. You can change society through music. You can kill somebody through music. You can be an advocate through music. Now, people like Fela Anikulapo Kuti from Nigeria, I mean, the older generation will remember Fela. Fela's music was so much of an advocate that the government at the time hated him so much because he could move so many people. For example, a song like Zombie, oh, Zombie, Zombie. Now, that zombie, he was referring to the government at that time.
Wow.
And how the government was treating the people. The government had turned the people into puppets and they were just controlling them, doing their bidding. So, I mean, when if anybody right now wants to be a musician, the person must look within. You cannot just wake up one day and say call yourself a musician. That's why now we have a lot of gibberish. Excuse my French. We have a lot of rubbish in the music industry than the good stuff. There's a lot of chaff. So when you study music to a certain level, you will sieve the chaff and get refined music that uplifts the soul. It's not only gospel music. I mean, these are the gospel musicians are even worse off than the secular musicians.
Why?
They my brother. I mean, they are not in for to them. Mm-hmm. They are, I mean, proclaiming the gospel, but musically they are doing a lot of things wrong. Now, I am not the one to correct them, but we can only talk about it if they can heed advice.
Okay, so then advice.
Well, the only advice I can give to any budding musician, any upcoming musician, is to research, learn. Take time to learn. Take time to research. Before people like Michael Jackson came out there were songwriters. In fact, right now there are songwriters. There are instrumentalists. There are engineers. There are managers. I mean, a lot of people come together to make quality music, to make music last for a lifetime. Now, people like Michael Jackson, he's dead and gone, but he's still fetching money today. Why? Because we make music that are timeless. We make music that stand the test of time. It is so easy when you have the rudiments right than for you to try and do something and going back and forth. Music is part of life, it's part of society. There is no aspect of society that does not enjoy music. In nature, there are certain songs you play at the seaside or by the riverside, and it makes the whole environment calm. Right now, science has proven that there are certain songs you can play for plants to grow. Now, the highest killer in our society is stress, followed by depression.
Okay.
Now, what music does to the heart is we have something we call a heart chord. That is what makes you like certain songs. That's what makes you not like certain songs. Now, when your heart chord is in a certain song or in a certain music composition, you can play that song 1,000 times. You will never get tired of it. When your heart chord is not in a song, you can equally enjoy it, but not that much. That is when you grow to love the song. But songs that you hear and you love it instantly, there are songs that can make you cry. There are songs that can make you sad. There are songs that can make you recollect something you've forgotten many years ago. So songs, music very, very spiritual and powerful.
Okay, so earlier oka say you won bi wo honoma ye bo seaside, ye bo riverside, ye won bi wo honoma ye bo fie enyum ben ye bo.
Yeah, those are
and then enyum ben ye bo.
When you study the elements of nature, I mean, basically there are 4 elements: the earth, the air, fire, and water. Now, each of these elements are embedded in us human beings. So there are some people, they are very wild people. Those are the fire people. There are some people too, they are very cool. Very cool. They are as cool as water. But mind you, the same cool people, when you step on their toes, they are not so cool. The same water that we drink is the same water that kills people. The same fire that prepares our food is the same fire that burns properties and kills people. The same air that we breathe and live is the same air that can kill people. The same earth that gives us food is the same earth when we die we return to. So there is always a juxtaposition of the elements. Now all of these can be embedded in music, from the studio work to you writing your lyrics, arranging your lyrics if the verse is coming first, or the chorus is coming first, or the hook is coming first. Now all these things play a very important role. Now the most important thing in composition is a message. What message are you giving out? What kind of people are you targeting? Your target audience. Now because of marketability and sales, people consider the sales more than the product itself. Now if the product is good, you don't have to make too much noise to sell the product. It is when the product is bad that you put all your resources into pushing the music. But why is it that certain songs come out and in less than a week or 2, it dies out? You don't hear them again.
Don't hear them again.
But songs that are over 20 years, when they still play today, they are so evergreen. So when you are in tune with nature, you know the songs to play. Now we have certain music we use for meditation. Now meditation forms a heavy part of a musician's life. If you are into music and you do not know how to meditate, please start now. That is where the inspiration comes from. Some people meditate with ganja and all those things. That is not what I am talking about. I am talking about you being in tune with nature. You can go to a riverside, you can go into the forest, you can anywhere you can communicate with your maker. That is where you can meditate. Even in the stillness and in the quietness of your room, you can still meditate. But there are certain music that can help you. When you go online, now there is music for everything. There are music compositions for every emotion that you are feeling, or every emotion that you want to emit out. If you want songs for positivity, it's there. You want songs for negativity, is also there. Whatever the good side and the bad side, they are all there. But let the good overtake
the bad.
The bad. Yeah.
So someone is watching, someone is listening. In the Pakoni interest one jump to and I say when you compare enter into music or feels like a passion, but that person is so very afraid to make that start because of feel say or to you will be best sereno, and that's because of a terrible voice. Then I will be catch your sound for some people you can realize that they have the gifts of singing, but they are so afraid to make a start?
Well, the terrible voice aspect, nobody has a terrible voice. It depends on what you want to do with that voice.
Okay.
Now, we have the head voice, the chest, and the stomach. When you are able to find your own level of fluctuation between these three channels, then we can groom you for that voice that you think is a terrible voice to be enjoyed by the masses. So to whoever wants to do something with their voice, first of all, you have to look within and see what kind of voice do you have. When you sing, is it nasal? Do you sing through your nose? Do you sing through your diaphragm? That's your chest. Or do you sing by your belly? Where do you feel the most pressure? And your larynx, how clear is your larynx? You cannot be a good singer when you take certain foods that can give you phlegms.
Okay.
Like dairy products, milk products, cheese, and all of that. They give the throat a lot of phlegms. All these are there. You need to know all of these. If you want to take it to a professional level, then consistency must come in. You have to train. You have to rehearse. You have to know the do's and the don'ts. But nobody on earth has a bad voice, because there was a musician, Sachmo. He played the trumpet, and he was, his voice was terrible. Even Louis Armstrong believed he had a terrible voice until his terrible voice became one of the most popular voices of his generation. I see a dream, red roses too. I see them bloom all in you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Now, this voice, he considered himself to be a terrible singer. But this song, from the moment he recorded this till today, anytime this song is played.
Yeah. I love that song, that particular song.
Yeah.
Because
So-
of the voice.
Yeah, because of the voice. So it doesn't matter the voice you have. There is a lady, a gospel musician, Becky Bonnie.
Yeah.
She has a male voice.
Voice.
Oh my God. If that woman is supposed to be in a choir to sing bass, she will overtake all the men, but she's a woman.
Yeah.
So nobody, there is nothing good or bad when it comes to
Music.
especially when it comes to singing. It is the how and the way you put yourself that will determine where you go with your
Where
voice.
you go with your voice.
And so long as it's a passion, the passion can be there, but if you don't work at it, there's a saying that hard work
Pace.
overtake passions.
Okay.
No matter how passionate you are, if you do not put in the work, your passion is passionless.
All right. So, yam kuye chini and Samsung Brian name. Earlier now, Kabibi say, for me, I know say you were tenor, alto, bass, and then treble. These are the four parts I know. But earlier you were saying we have about 8. There are 8.
For choral music, we have first and second soprano. That's 2. When you come to alto, we have alto and contralto. That's 4. When you come to tenor, we have first tenor, second tenor. That's 5. When you come to the bass, that's 6. When you come to the bass, we have baritone and the bass itself. So all these parts also have their instruments as well.
Okay.
So we have when we take saxophone, for instance, we have the soprano saxophone, we have the tenor saxophone, There are so many instruments that also is arranged like that. But for voices, the major ones are the 8 parts. Now within that 8 parts, anybody can find their own in there.
So the one that who first or terrible voice, will find his place.
Anybody can find their own in there. That is, if you want to sing properly. You do not need to be a member of a choir to get a good voice. So yeah.
Well, I'm asking this question because I find myself in a place where I've been in a couple of meetings with choirs, and you realize that there are only 4 parts. Are they right or wrong?
Oh no, we don't have only 4. Music is so dynamic that even now it is changing, but academically it's the 8 parts that are there now.
So those that
for voice.
For voice, yes.
Yeah, for voice, yeah.
Because
no, there's nobody should tell you there are only 4 parts. No, it's not only 4.
Because when they are teaching, they teach in these 4 parts.
If you are being taught in the 4 parts, you take it like that. But that is not the limit. In fact, we have no limit.
We have no limit.
We have no limit. So yeah, but academically, it's the 8 parts. That's when where the average human being or the average higher dimensional animal can find your pitch. So yeah.
All right. So your time no so we have another program coming up. Reverend Joyce Owusu-Ansah will be preaching to us all the way from London from exactly 10 o'clock. Mm-hmm. Yes, from 10 o'clock she will be preaching. But let me ask this before we end, before the woman of God takes over. We have a lot of people who want to all right, so Obi energy and the person doesn't have voice. The person doesn't have voice.
If you don't have a voice, you cannot talk.
You cannot talk. Okay, good. So the person wants to do music, but I feel say the voice in here terrible. And then now do the person have to come to you for you to train that person?
No,
it
depends on the level the person wants to take, whether it's a craft she wants to project or build, or it's a profession or a passion she wants to take to the higher level. So it depends. No, I'm not necessarily saying you should come to me. I mean, there are many music teachers out there, but the thing is, know the right thing from the beginning so that you do not suffer during your progress. You can watch videos from YouTube, you can do, but it's always good to have somebody coaching you at one point or the other. Yeah.
It is always good getting someone to coach you. Okay, so finally, your final advice to those who are doing music or those who want to do music. I know, sir, with your explanation, and as I said, it would be any how music starts and all those things. You even mentioned some of the gospel musicians, some of the things that they do, you see they are not doing things right. I mean, your final advice to them, your final advice to the public, or those who want to do music, or those who find music so interesting.
Well, first of all, they should know that music is an art. And art is not stagnant. Art also evolves. Now, when you are yourself, you will be genuinely sought after. You do not have to sing like somebody. You do not have to rap like somebody. bring out your uniqueness. Everybody has a fingerprint, and that fingerprint is our uniqueness. No two people on earth have the same fingerprint. Even twins do not have the same fingerprint. So, over the 40 billion sperms, you are the only one that made it. That should tell you how unique you are. You are the only one who fertilized your mother's eggs. So you're already a winner from the beginning. So please be yourself, be unique. Come out with something new. Come out with something pleasant, something beautiful. We understudy other people for us to get better, but not to be like them.
Okay.
You can be better, bigger than anybody if you find your uniqueness. So that is my advice. And learn, unlearn, and relearn. Because the world is moving at a very fast pace and everything is changing. You move with the times, maintaining your uniqueness. When you are unique, trust me, you will be sought after every corner you hide yourself. People will find you.
Okay, so thank you very much. So that was, I called him Professor. You heard his name. And thank you so much for joining us. I always think he beat me at us or Queen Museni also bet me at a but Nankopon Yard may be so at us at the Amasenia Betiasi. Into was in Bisani, was in Bisa concern about music, and I say, be a dear Chirwajon Soa. Ubeti me the my comment session, I say, and I say, Ubeti me abo modia at the my WhatsApp number we so 054 9933189 054 9933189. Na yitimi abwani yi ano de amount, but yemre no ayebre inti yede ne segment no anase yede anapay King's morning show ahani this year. Wow, hwe me wa wutie me nyankopon hira no onyo kese pa koswaso obe like it. Thank you so much for having us. Let's meet tomorrow again on the KJ Radio with King's morning show. All right, enjoy your day. Stay blessed. Bye-bye. So from now to 11 o'clock, Reverend Joseph Owusu Ansah takes over all the way from London. Reverend Joseph Owusu Ansah all the way from London. Edi Nyankopon asem edi brand KJ Radio so. Enti mo fidie nenda ha ya nyi fi ha no mo koso mo fidie nenda. Ne tie efutuo ensama esakra nipa. Ensama betime mo ya de pa. Ensama betime wedi yie e wa brabo mu. Enti bomoden a mo fidie nenda ha na menko ba bia de mo bomoden so be catch you be say emra so say kuti Nyankopon asem efi London from Reverend Joyce Owusu Ansah. Thank you so much. This is KJ Radio and I am your humble servant, King James. Enjoy your day. Stay blessed.